Hello, wonderful people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Once again, second video of the day. And this video is going to be a little bit different. This video is going to be a dedicated video. The fragrance review is going to be dedicated to one brother of mine. He's from Bangladesh. And I'll tell you the reason for the dedication. So, anyway, the fragrance I'm about to review, you're going to see a sample review today. And you can see a 2 ml sample right here. This fragrance, it's if you can see the labeling is like a question mark, right? And the reason for it is I got it from one of my brothers as a gift. His name is Mr. Saif Chayon Bhai. How are you doing? Thank you so much for this wonderful gift. So basically what he did, he gave me the sample, sent me the sample, and he said, Joy Bhai, I'm sending you a sample. I want you to tell me what this is. I want you to guess. And out of this 1,000 fragrances, you wouldn't be able to guess anything. And it was a tough challenge, and I totally failed 110%. Okay, I couldn't guess. At first, I thought perhaps this is a YSL's M7, right? I guessed the house right, but I got the fragrance wrong. Because I couldn't tell what this fragrance is. This is like a vintage sort of batch. This is not the first fragrance of its this line. This is YSL Opium for women, and this fragrance actually was launched way long time ago. It's like one of those what do you call OG fragrances. It's like a classic. Okay, back in the time, it's huge. Nowadays, not many people talk about this fragrance. I would like to just do this video, and I'll do random talk, and I'll share with you his personal thoughts. Who sent me this bottle sample, John Bhai's experience, and I'll let you know what this fragrance smells like. So this is basically a first reformulation. I think 2009's bottle. If I'm wrong, please correct me, John Bhai. And this fragrance is the juice color is so rich, as you can see. You can still find this bottle opium for women in market, but I think after a lot of reformulation, it's sort of like a shadow self of this particular one. This one I smelled, but I can only imagine what it used to be like in 70s or 80s when it was available in the first let's say the vintage batch. Okay, so this is like first formulation, but it's pretty potent. Okay, let me talk about it one by one. So he wrote this when he sent me, he wrote this question mark. I didn't remove it, I didn't change anything. So I wore almost like a lot of this here until here. I'll let you know my thoughts on this fragrance. It may not be perfect, but yeah, what kind of fragrance this is. So this fragrance, first of all, opium. Nowadays ladies know black opium more. I had that bottle, I had about 10-15 ml juice left, or 20. My girlfriend, she's like liked it too much, I gave it to her. I should buy her a full bottle, by the way. That's very sweet. Black opium is totally different. It has a similar looking bottle, black. It has a like a window kind in the middle. You've seen black opium. So that's entirely different fragrance than this opium. Opium for men is also another fragrance which is not talked about. I would get that bottle now, review it. That's another great fragrance. So that and these opium for women are different fragrances. So first of all, this fragrance, it's very much unisex in my opinion. I will share with you side by side his thoughts, Mr. Saif Chayon Bhai's thought. He said this is pretty much an unisex fragrance. I agree with him. He uses it a lot, and he does get a lot of like compliments and notice from his friends and family. So this fragrance, it's very unique. I mean, these days you might find it a little bit maybe kind of like back in the time, but what a beautiful fragrance. As a piece of art or a witness of history, this fragrance stands very strong. So first of all, the how it smells. Opening top note, I sprayed it on my hand. It's drying down for 10-15 minutes, so I pretty much can tell you. When I smelled it for the first time, I couldn't detect any notes. Okay, first thing I thought maybe it has oud in it. Okay, because those skanky ouds or kind of like something dark in it, so I thought it's a oud fragrance. Then I was wrong. I couldn't guess anything. I asked him, brother, what is it? I cannot figure out. So he told me this is opium, and he told me the notes. So basic notes are, back in the time, used to be heavy dosage of, I think, like up top there is citruses, okay, and then there is labdanum, there is like myrrh, I think there is patchouli, and what is it, the other one? There's a note, particular note, late night. So there is this note, I think, what is it that Kuros also uses? It's kind of like this animalic feel, I think. Hold on. Yeah, sorry, the moment I paused, it came to my head. It's oak moss. So this fragrance is oak moss heavy. So if you like the DNA of sort of like Kuros or something like a powerhouse kind of fragrance that has Givenchy, Gentleman, if you like those fragrances, this pretty much falls into those family. And it has, I don't know, for some reason in my head, it looks like, it's like I get lemongrass. That's the first note. It's just plain out in my head. Lemongrass has that very strong smell. Lemongrass is used in Thai cooking, like Thai soup and everything. We use it here in Bangladesh. So that note particular, that lemongrass note is very strong. It's very kind of like it sparkles, it's like kind of spicy kind of a lemon, so it has that kick, it's like peppery kick to the lemon. That's how I see lemongrass. So I get that from this fragrance. So rather than those citruses, I think the way citrus used to be used back in the days, it used to be used like this. Okay, so it's kind of like potent, strong. It comes and hits your face, not just one or two particular lemon or very basic fragrance. This hits you on your face like it's powerful, it's potent. Even for the small sample I am wearing it, this is good enough for the whole night. It lasts more than 10-15 hours, this particular formulation. Newer ones still last a very long time, but not as strong as this version. So performance, it's great. If you can get a vintage version 2009, it would be great. So who is it for? I said it's unisex. Yes, women can wear it. It will smell differently on a woman, and it will smell differently on a man, and both can pull it off with equal confidence. Okay, that's what I feel. And this has a very strong presence. I think it's something like a spicy thing going on around. It's like some sort of spices around. It's like spicy. It's like, like it'll be perfect. It's like so good. It's like back in the day, manly man. Like it's not just a cologne. Okay, it's like it has presence. So the oak moss feel, it's pretty much like something like a green, kind of like how to explain this particular note here. It has maybe perhaps musk in it also in the last stage, but it's like kind of like a powerhouse animalic fragrance. Okay, so it's the composition, it's built for that era, so it kind of like transports that time, like if you can imagine that time, back in the time, you think of like, ladies who dressed up so well in the evening. They are not wearing some, like skanky, I don't want to judge today's dress sense or let's say trend or anything. Everything will evolve. People will like different things, and people might bring back like old style, like you used to watch, and the jeans people used to wear back in the time 70s. Now they're wearing it again, or perhaps the boots, the bell bottoms and stuff. So this fragrance particularly, kudos. If you're a fan of this, I definitely highly recommend you check this fragrance out. So Chayon Bhai really loves this fragrance, and I can see why. And I will cherish this sample. I will wear it only particular occasion when I feel like that mood. Think of like not hot weather. I think this will be great on rainy day. It's really cloudy, no heat and humidity. It's beautiful. It's chilled air. It's like kind of wet air. Or think of like your spring days. It's raining. That would be perfect day to wear it. It's kind of like a gloomy day. It will complement the whole thing so beautifully. So I think of this fragrance. I think of Bonnie and Clyde for some reason. I try to relate to real life scenarios. That time, like the badass, they are like wild, they're free, and they're doing their thing. It's not too much technology out there, but those presence of those actors, or you think of like those characters, it's so huge. Every single actor back in the time, like for me, I look for that sort of maturity. This fragrance is very mature. Another dimension of it's very mature. So it's a very complete, full-bodied fragrance. It's not for everybody. It's for people who like oak moss, or you like something like a powerhouse, but not that animalic. Okay, if you can go past the opening, perhaps it will scare you, but with time it gets nicer and nicer. It never gets weak. That's another thing I noticed with this. It just disappeared. The last stage just disappears. It's not like, it's a very faint central. It's always strong. It's projecting. So all in all, this opium, in my humble opinion, I couldn't detect all the notes. I would not lie to you that I could detect all the opinion like notes. It's a very well blended, complex fragrance. Okay, and it's not exactly like modern, but one other fragrance I would like to show you. Sorry, if you also like Azaroporum, if you like this barbershoppy sort of like a spicy, this is a little bit different. Okay, if you like this kind of fragrance, I would definitely say, even if it's a women's perfume, go check it out. Opium for women. This is a different class of fragrance. Okay, it exudes that class. If you're really dressing up for the evening time, that would be perfect. Cold weather would be great. Age for it, mature age, 30 plus. But if you have a mature nose, definitely put your nose to it. It's very niche quality juice, and it doesn't smell synthetic at all. It actually feels like the perfumer did put her or his heart, or I haven't checked the perfumer for it. They put their heart into this fragrance. They really thought. They took years of research, or which direction they should go. It's like one of those pieces in the museum. So this is kind of a fragrance, a big fragrance, okay? So if you do enjoy these kind of fragrances, Kuros and Azaropurum, kind of like spicy barbershop and a little bit of oak moss heavy, definitely check out this fragrance. This is Opium for women. Even the modern version, you get a taste of it, but not as pungent. But nothing wrong. Whatever is available, you can still get a taste of this fragrance. So this is love it or hate it fragrance. It's not a must buy, it's a try, okay? Do not blind buy this fragrance. It took me for a while to understand the concept of it. You'll really get notice if you like to project, if you like to have a fragrance that is big, it has a nice aura about it. It's not just one or two basic notes. This is the kind of fragrance you can look at. This is very awesome fragrance. So I don't want to like rate it like out of 10 or whatever. It's a classic, okay? So it's a classic fragrance. Thanks Chayon Bhai once again for providing me with this. This video is dedicated to you, brother. Okay, you are an awesome nose, you're an awesome person. If you do not know him, you guys do not know him in real life, he's a very kind of stays by himself, very cool guy. I really like our chats over the phone. So thank you, Chayon Bhai, once again, right? Have a very blessed night. I'll talk to you soon. Check out women version of Opium. Good night from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Bye-bye.